Hello and welcome back to Spiritual Maintenance. This video is all about your third eye. Now, if you made it this far, you'll remember, possibly, that I was using the EMDR negative and positive cognition sections and aligning them with the chakras. Well, this one does not have any because there's only 5 different sections for focusing on triggers. So you have reached the stage where there's no longer any triggers stuck within this area. What this is the area by which we become the observer. We see the person in front of us. Namaste, I see your soul. We recognize each other as mirrored reflections of ourselves and what we're struggling with. A good example of this is recently this week I took my kiddos to a play place, and there was a woman who worked there, and I happened to be wearing a shirt that says "Not Today, Satan." I got this shirt because personally I think it's a hilarious, very funny saying. So I just wear it just because I think it's funny. Anyhow, this lady came up to me and just randomly started telling me about how back in the day she worked at this particular place, and because of that, she wasn't able to go to church. So she missed church many weekends. And I just kind of nodded and was like, oh, it happens. And it just kind of confused me for a second there. And then that's when I sat with it and recognized the projection that was happening between us. She saw my shirt, assumed I was a churchgoer, and then reached out for validation because that is her own trigger within her, is that she has felt that she must do that to be a good person. So she reached out to me subconsciously to get validation that, hey, it's okay, you're still a good person. And me, on the other hand, I recognized it as spirit doing what spirit does and sending me somebody to reflect and notice what I still struggle with. And that is the concept of going somewhere to a location to connect with spirit. Whereas my personal belief is you do that within. I definitely believe in creating a network of people that have similar beliefs and, maintaining that. But I believe that the deepest work with spirit is an individual thing that you do on your own. So I always stay away from that conversation with people because I know that everybody has their differing of opinions, and I just don't even want to get into it. So that is my issue. So instead of standing up for myself, using my truth, my voice, saying my perspective, I just avoid. And that brings us to Erickson's personality trait that is with this one, which is love, and that is that intimacy versus isolation. So in the scenario I just shared, that woman uses intimacy, that connection, to get that need of love met for her, whereas I use isolation to just avoid in certain areas. So recognizing what things you are okay being intimate talking about and other things you isolate yourself from. That's what this is all about. So notice not so much the things you're intimate with, because that's already taken care of, but the isolation piece, hang on to that, and that's the part we'll be focusing on in healing for this week. The motivational type for this one is tradition. The description is respect, commitment, and acceptance of customs and ideas that traditional culture and religion provide about oneself. So that's like recognizing how everybody comes from their own individual culture and giving them that space and accepting them for who they are, knowing that not all of us are raised the same, so we all have different beliefs, different insecurities, different ways of expressing love, all those kind of things, and just seeing each other as we are and learning from each other. Okay, so the center itself, the glands, organs that are affected with this one are the brain, the eyes, nose, pineal gland, pituitary gland, thalamus, hypothalamus, and overall nervous system. So even like those sinuses, things like that, that's all connected in there. Physical problems are stroke, neurological problems, seizures, brain tumors, blindness, deafness, learning disorders, because that all has to do with up here, the brain, all of that. And the emotional and mental growth for this is the ability to see the truth as it is and not for what we want it to be, whether about ourselves or the world, recognizing each other, or we're mirroring each other. Being open to new ideas, ability to see ahead by circumstances of the present, open to challenges of present knowledge in order to grow and learn from experiences, having vision, growth of wisdom, sense of higher intuition, thinking and reasoning, and a sense of being connected to the divine and our participation in the universe at large. So again, recognizing that we are meant to interact with each other because that's how we help each other grow. We grow from recognizing that we can see our truest selves in others. And once we recognize it as such, nobody can trigger you anymore because you're like, oh, that's an area I need to work on. And when it comes to lower vibrational things that can attach, and I can talk about that more in later videos, those lower vibrational things cannot attach to you or be sent towards you if you have no triggers or low vibrations to be attached to. And that all comes from releasing those triggers. The element for this is pure light. The color, indigo. Again, reasoning, logic, intelligent, all about the truth. So the truth is what we speak through the throat, and this is living and seeing the truth for what it is. It's about enlightenment and self-realization. And the negative expressions is that delusion, neurosis, inadequacy, and seizures are in that one as well. So in the example of myself and the elderly woman, she was under the negative expression of delusion, of she assumed I was a churchgoer. I was under the negative expression of inadequacy. I didn't want to talk in depth about anything surrounding church because I'm like, don't even want to go there. So recognizing that when it happens. And that's just one example. There's so many others, which I'm sure you can relate to in your own life. Trying to think if there's anything else I can talk to you about in this. Definitely kind of, I know I had talked about mirror magic in a short in the throat one. You can use that for this as well. In looking in the mirror, I've heard that this has been very beneficial where you could just look in the mirror. You don't say anything, you don't do anything, you just look. And there's something about that triggers something in your brain, and you see the things that are bothering you. As soon as those come up, journal it and just journal away. Take that piece of paper, burn it, rip it, shred it, flush it, whatever you need to do, but destroy it. And then write all the positive things, the opposites of whatever it is you wrote down, and then post that somewhere, some affirmations that match it so that you can become that person. And then make a conscious effort to notice people in your surroundings who are the way you want to be and look at how they act. Be thankful that they're even in your environment, because that means there's an aspect of you that is healing, that's attracting this person to you or these people to you. Recognize them, put your energy in those directions, and it will just increase it, and then you'll notice all of the other negative aspects will slowly start falling away from your life. And that is how manifestation works. You heal the inside, and then the outside has to follow through. Okay, so that was a little bit different than how I usually present. I just noticed that. So we shall see how the crown one is next week. And just be on the lookout for the meditation for this Friday, and I will see you soon. Bye.